How about them Cowboys? Angry Cowboys fan. Born to battle. Storm just means we never sell. America's team through thick and thin. When the sun shines bright, that's where we win. Angry Cowboys fan.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And it seems as if the only time the talking heads speak about Micah Parsons, they gotta connect him to the Dallas Cowboys. On today's episode of the Rich Eisen Show, they had their Overreaction Monday, and the Dallas Cowboys were a part of the segment. Not only were the Dallas Cowboys a part of that segment, the subject of Micah Parsons and his expected return to the Green Bay Packers active roster was discussed. That wasn't the only thing that was discussed, though, Cowboys Nation. Chris Brockman also brought up the fact that Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys did indeed win the Micah Parsons trade. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do after that. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to the first clip from the Rich Eisen Show.
Some underrated news that we didn't get to hit on last week,
Yes,
with
sir.
all everything else kind of going on, is that Micah Parsons isn't going to be back until late October.
Yeah.
Okay. Had another cleanup, and they reset the 9-month timeline that the Packers have for guys coming back from knee injury. So he's at least at the earliest a mid-season, back on the field for Green Bay.
Yes.
And I think this closes the book. It's officially official. Jerry Jones won the Micah Parsons trade.
We can't say that yet. It's still too early. But I understand where you're going with this one, too. What the Dallas Cowboys did last year by trading Micah Parsons and turning him into what they've turned him into, right, in terms of Kenny Clark and in terms of taking the draft capital and moving it around and adding Quinnen Williams and then getting Rashawn Gary and then moving things around and in this past year's draft and getting who they got.
Caleb Downs.
Correct. Looks great.
And you got CeeDee Lamb out here saying our defense is a menace to go against in practice.
I do think so. Okay. And anybody who pushes back on that would be still locked in on the reasons why Parsons got traded.
Right. But
because it was so bat guano crazy.
It was insane.
I mean, it was kind of insane, Cowboys Nation. But a part of me hates that Micah Parsons is going to be out until mid-October. I mean, I hate to see athletes miss any type of time due to an injury. I honestly wish that we could be like Madden and turn off the injury controls and have these players play to the maximum of their careers. But I did say a part of me, because I honestly wish him to miss the game against the Dallas Cowboys October 18th. At the same time, if it's his first game back, he's not going to be the Micah Parsons that we all know. As far as winning the Micah Parsons trade, the jury's still out on that whole decision. Now let's go ahead and jump into the second clip so we can come back and talk about it. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
But at the end of the day, the Cowboys have vastly improved their team. And if the behind-the-scenes stuff between the team and Micah Parsons is to be believed, they removed somebody that either A, didn't want to be there, or B, a lot of people on the other side didn't want to have around anymore.
Grinding gears.
I get that. But Parsons still has a huge career ahead of him. And if the Packers do have a good first half of a season, and if you will stay afloat, and if not better, I don't know what's going on with Josh Jacobs, which is a massive question mark as well, then Micah Parsons will be if he does return healthy, a great midseason pickup, to say the least. And then let's see what he does.
I want to see
And
it.
then let's see what he does the rest of his career.
Okay.
And let's see how it all plays out. But yes, a big upside for the Cowboys defense, and it is born out of the way the Cowboys handled the trade and the capital they got from it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. But you know, Cowboys Nation, I would have to agree with Rich Eisen. The Dallas Cowboys have improved their defense. I would also have to agree with the fact that Micah didn't want to be with the Dallas Cowboys, and some of the organization didn't want him to be here as well. Y'all remember that whole 105.3 The Fan segment about Micah Parsons and how he was ruffling some feathers and some people didn't want him in the building and some people actually found him annoying? Also, the Jesse Holly segment on Law Nation. No one wanted to believe Jesse Holly, but he did have a point with what he said. Now let's go ahead and get into the third clip so we can come back and unpack this raw and uncut.
More likely to win their division this year, Packers or Cowboys?
I would go Cowboys. You know, I put the Cowboys in my top 5 of my way too early power
I agree with
rankings.
you. I agree with you.
Okay, and so, or did I leave out a 2? It might have been a way too early power rankings.
I think it was 3-2.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it was still way too early. Yeah, I put the Cowboys in my top 5 because
I'm down with
their
that.
offense returns, and we're assuming it's going to be just as good.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cowboys defense, let's check the box, man.
Well, assuming that George Pickens is not traded.
I don't believe he will be. I don't believe he will be.
Never know.
No, George Pickens is not going to be traded, all right? But I would go with the Dallas Cowboys too. Not because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, but because we've missed the playoffs so many times in recent history, it's time to get back to the dance and try to go on a run. But y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Get ready for the Angry Cowboys fans, raw and uncut.
Keeping it real. They keep it real. That's real.
Man, I hate the fact that Micah Parsons is still associated with the Dallas Cowboys. Whenever you speak his name, whenever his name's brought up, it's not Green Bay Packers star pass rusher Micah Parsons. It's former Dallas Cowboy pass rusher Micah Parsons. He hasn't been with the Dallas Cowboys for going on a whole year now. We're almost reaching the 1-year anniversary of Micah being traded to the Green Bay Packers. So why are the talking heads still associating him with the Dallas Cowboys? You know, I made a video about who won the trade before, and I honestly couldn't come to a solid conclusion because we haven't seen the fruits of the trades in action. Sure, we got Kenny Clark in the trade and was able to acquire Quinnen Williams with one of our 2027 first-round picks, but the pick that they used to get Quinnen Williams was the Dallas Cowboys' first and second-round picks, not the Green Bay Packers. On top of that, we have yet to see how the players who the Dallas Cowboys drafted with the Green Bay Packers draft capital is going to pan out with this Dallas Cowboys team this season, so I believe it's a little premature to say who won this trade. We still have to see how Malachi Lawrence and Caleb Downs works out for the defense in order to even try to come to that conclusion of the Dallas Cowboys winning the trade. Just because Micah got injured doesn't automatically constitute a win for the Dallas Cowboys or Jerry Jones. Chris Brockman also commented on CeeDee Lamb calling the Cowboys defense a menace to go up against in practice. You see, Cowboys Nation, this is why I laugh at the different Eagles fans who try to post videos of Dak Prescott throwing interceptions during training camp. They see that Dak Prescott's throwing interceptions and they automatically link it to him regressing, but I see it as the Dallas Cowboys defense being a menace, like CeeDee Lamb said. You don't want your quarterback going out there dotting up your defense during training camp. You know what your quarterback's capable of. What you don't know is what your defense is capable of. What you want to see is your defense confusing the hell out of the quarterback so that they can translate that to the regular season against opposing quarterbacks. Do I expect Eagles fans to understand that? Absolutely not, Cowboys Nation. So I'm excited to hear that our number one wide receiver is saying that the Cowboys defense is annoying to go up against. If he came out and said that Dak Prescott and the offense was out there shredding the defense up, then it's time to go back to the drawing board before we even get into the preseason. But I can agree with Rich Eisen. The Dallas Cowboys have vastly improved its defense, and I believe that they've improved it at the expense of trading a transitional talent in Micah Parsons. I feel that the defense is going to flow smoothly without him being here, and there's not going to be any type of civil war within the locker room or within the leadership hierarchy of the team. I understand that Micah Parsons brought the team double-digit sacks in his 4 seasons of being with the Dallas Cowboys, but I'm not the type to allow a player to just do anything because he's talented. Some people do that. I'm not one of those type of people. I don't like the favoritism. I believe in order to establish a true culture within the organization, all players should be held to a particular standard and not allowed to just skate because they can get sacks. I have no problem with them doing podcasts. That's if they can handle the responsibility of a podcast and not create friction within the locker room or the organization. So Caleb Downs, your podcast is safe for now. But the last video that I did about Micah Parsons and what he said about the Dallas Cowboys, there were a number of people telling me to just move on as if the topic wasn't being discussed by a number of talking heads as well as content creators. I wonder if those same people ever told the other content creators or the talking heads to just move on. But when I said move on, people jumped on me and called me a Micah Parsons hater. All I wanted to do was to see the team focus on the task at hand and not what could have been with Micah Parsons. Now that I make a couple of videos about him, it's move on for some reason? Come on now, y'all. But at the same time, the video that I did about Micah Parsons did way more numbers than the video that I just put out trying to understand what Christian Parker's scheme would be while breaking down the Vic Fangio scheme. So it seems to me that people are more interested in the drama more than the education. That's not going to change what I want to do. That's not going to change my want to educate others as well as to gain knowledge from the people that I educate. I'm going to continue to bring y'all this raw and uncut while at the same time sharing the knowledge that I have about the game with y'all and vice versa. And when it comes to which team is going to win their respective division, the Packers or the Cowboys, y'all know I got to go with the Dallas Cowboys. Not because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, but because we are going to see what would have happened to the Dallas Cowboys had we held on to Micah Parsons happen to the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are going to become top-heavy like we would have been top-heavy if they extended Micah Parsons. You already saw it this past offseason, Cowboys Nation. The Green Bay Packers had to offload a number of players in order to afford Micah Parsons, and that's something that I didn't want the Dallas Cowboys to have to do. If the Dallas Cowboys would have extended Micah Parsons, there would have been no Kenny Clark, no Quinnen Williams, no Malachi Lawrence, and who knows about Caleb Downs. I mean, shoot, if Micah Parsons would have been a part of the Dallas Cowboys last year, we might have won more games than we did, and Caleb Downs might have been off the board when we selected in the draft. So I'm happy with the trade, and I'm glad it happened, Cowboys Nation. Now the locker room doesn't have to have clicks or see division just to secure 12.5 sacks a year. There doesn't have to be hero ball, and the Dallas Cowboys can be much better at stopping the run. Much better than what we were when Micah Parsons was a part of this team. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. Cowboys Nation, what do you feel about what the guys over on the Rich Eisen Show had to say? Do you believe the Dallas Cowboys can and will win the NFC East? Y'all know how we do. We always talk about it in the comment section. If you're digging this content and you want to help get the word out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans, drop a like on this video, share with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and if you're on your mobile device and you haven't used them up yet, make sure you hype this video. Doing so will help get the word out to Cowboys fans. They'll come over to the Angry Cowboys Fan YouTube channel and want to become Angry Cowboys fans themselves. And if you are DC for life and you're okay with Micah Parsons not being a part of the Dallas Cowboys, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, or film breakdowns. You can catch the Madden 26, College Football 26, or Mortal Kombat Talk on my other YouTube channel, the Angry Gaming Fan YouTube channel. I'll make sure I put the link to that as well as the gamer tag in the description. I do understand where some Cowboys fans are coming from when they say it's time to move on from Micah Parsons. I believe the same thing, Cowboys Nation. I believe he needs to be associated with the Green Bay Packers and not with the Dallas Cowboys any longer. He made his move. Now let him live in his move. What's that old saying? He made his bed. Now let's see him lie in it. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys Fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.